name is Scream, then click OK and come into Sources and click the plus button, and then you need to go and click on Display Capture, press OK, and you can then choose.
Alright, let's see what's going on.
Trump's war on drug trafficking getting even larger in scale, the president declaring cartels as unlawful combatants, paving the way for wartime powers. 5:18 a.m. Minneapolis. Trump's war on drug trafficking getting even larger in scale, the president declaring cartels as unlawful combatants, paving the way for wartime powers. 5:18 a.m. Minneapolis, Minnesota. A federal raid in the dark. A judge under secret surveillance. Encrypted rates. CJMG shipments. The largest breach in Minnesota's history. If you want the full truth behind this operation, good luck, so this story reaches more people.
And they're operating these networks around our entire country. So we are going to keep our entire country safe. We're going to protect all Americans.
6 kilograms of cocaine found inside the judge's own office, carried by the woman appointed to uphold Minnesota law. This wasn't a cartel warehouse. This was the seat of justice, turned into a supply line. This wasn't an outside threat. This was betrayal wearing a judicial robe. If you want to see how deep the rat goes, we go deeper. 5:18 a.m. Minneapolis was quiet and cold. Frost coated the car windows, and nothing on the streets signaled trouble, but a federal raid had already begun. Unmarked cars pulled up outside Judge Layla Mahad's office. Doors opened, heels clicked on the pavement, and FBI and DEA agents entered without a sound. A battering ram smashed through the reinforced door. The building shook. Family photos beside the American flag swayed, a reminder of an oath once sworn, now broken. Agents swept room by room. Drawers were empty. Lights cut through the darkness. Behind a false wall, they found 6 kilograms of tightly wrapped cocaine and 7 firearms stored in foam-lined cases. Then came the shock. A hidden safe covered in dust was opened to reveal $81 million in sealed cash. On the desk, an unlocked phone flashed encrypted messages, rights, dates, and commodity codes tied to CJMG shipments. This was betrayal built inside the law. If you want to see more of this network, click like and comment yes below to support the channel and help produce more content. The deeper agents dug, the more terrifying the picture became. Judge Layla Mahad, 49, is Somali. She had not been trapped or blackmailed. She had built the door, held it open, and chose it against the country that had given her power. She was an architect of a network. In 6 years, more than $61 million in cash, plus another $118 million in suspicious transfers, moved through 29 shell companies registered in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Panama, and Curacao. Not one of those companies sold a product. Not one had a phone number, yet they handled more money than some banks. Every dollar came from one source, CJMG cartel routes. The people involved were not nameless gang members on street corners. They were officials invited into the system. A bank director approved transfers at midnight. A local police chief signed special access forms for cargo screening. And in the shadows of these approvals, trucks rolled, shipments moved, and cash flowed back. This was not bribery. This was system design. At 2:17 a.m., cameras caught Judge Layla Mahad entering a dark community center through a side door. No lights, no security. 3 men followed. One was later identified as Abdi Khalaf, 36, wanted in 2 states for armed robbery. They stayed 17 minutes. No words, no bags, only doors opening and closing, and the unmistakable sense of a deal happening in the dark. Then agents uncovered the darkest layer. Layla was not only moving narcotics, she was importing men. More than 580 Somali nationals had entered Minnesota through channels connected to her network. Not families, not refugees. Young men with criminal histories, gang tattoos, and military scars. Within 16 months, 57 shootings, 91 armed robberies, 9 overdose deaths, 22 forced prostitution cases, all traced to the same cluster of recruits. One attack outside a supermarket in Bloomington left 2 grandparents wounded. Police later learned one of the shooters carried a PCA badge issued by a care clinic that billed Medicaid for $1.7 million in fake services. Money meant for elderly Americans was used to finance armed violence. The line between law and crime had not just blurred, it had been erased by the very judge entrusted to defend it. A judge didn't just break the law, she built a system around it. If that makes you uncomfortable, you're not alone. Comment system and stay here. At dawn on a Thursday, the investigation no longer lives in files and evidence rooms. The group
And then I go and have the frame rate set to 30. If you want to
slugs, wheels, uniforms, and orders. What had begun as a
Video. Settings. Settings. Video. English. Minimize. Look at it again. No one's doing it. So.
when it comes to the encoder, mine says NVENC as I have an NVIDIA graphics card, so if you have one as well, you can use it, or just use X264.
Ultra fast forward.
And then for the encoder, I just like to have medium as it balances everything.
Yeah, I wish I could, but it's alright.
Apply when you make any changes, then come to audio and make sure you select your correct microphone, and then come to video, and then here you want to go and choose what quality you're streaming in. So the main thing you want to look at is the output scaled resolution, as that is what you're actually going to be streaming. So I've got mine set to 1080p, and then I go and have the frame rate set to 30. If you want to stream with lower quality, then you can as well, and if you start to experience lag, then what you can do is lower this scaled resolution, and you can come back to your output and lower the video bitrate as well accordingly to go and just get the right match between quality and not having lag as well. Then click OK, and then what we need to do is add our screen here. So if you haven't got a scene in the bottom left here, click on the plus button, and we'll just name this screen. Then click OK and come into sources and click the plus button, and then you need to go and click on display capture, press OK, and you can then choose which screen you want to use. So I'll use this one here, then click OK, and there it is. And then when I go and press on start streaming like so, it's going to go and start streaming. So go and wait a moment, and then it should go and detect the stream. As you can see, excellent connection. And what you can do before you go and start streaming this screen, then click OK and come into sources and click the plus button, and then
Display. Happens if you don't have display.
go and click on display capture, press OK, and you can then choose which screen you want to use. So I'll use this one here.
Anywhere to go. You don't have any source display.
Then click OK, and there it is. And then when I go and press on start streaming like so, it's going to go and start streaming. So go and wait